The ninth clause begins with defining requirements for evaluating the quality, performance, and effectiveness of the QMS. This is done by monitoring, measuring, analysis, and evaluation. The purpose of the implementation of monitoring and measurement activities is to verify that the criteria for control of the processes or outputs have been met. For example, if your organization is shaping metal parts, you will need to monitor the pressure in the presses, and when the product is finished, you will measure its dimensions to see if they meet the product requirements. Monitoring refers to observing and reviewing, while the measuring refers to determining the size or amount of something by using the concrete values. For example, monitoring customer satisfaction refers to reviewing the trends in the customer satisfaction over some period of time, and measuring customer satisfactions means obtaining the information from the customers. Analysis refers to examining the results from the measuring, for example, comparing the results of the customer satisfaction from previous survey to the results of the current survey. For example, if the analysis showed that the level of customer satisfaction is decreasing, the company can decide to investigate this further on. For that purpose, the company should determine what needs to be monitored and measured. Mainly what are measured are the parameters of process, for example, the number of non-conforming products during the storage or number of customer complaints. The methods for monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation should be defined in order to get suitable results. For example, method for monitoring can be generating reports about the customer satisfaction, and method for measuring would be generating reports with numerical information regarding the temperature in the warehousing facilities. The frequency and the timing of the monitoring and measuring. For example, the monitoring of the customer satisfaction is done quarterly, and reports with detailed measurements of the warehousing temperature can be generated in real time. The responsible persons for conducting monitoring and the corresponding measurements. This can be the production manager as a person who is responsible for the production process. When will the results be analyzed and evaluated, and who will be responsible for that? The detailed analysis of the weekly reports may be conducted weekly by the quality assurance manager, and the evaluations to be conducted on the regular monthly meeting. One performance element of the quality management system is placed in separate subclause, and that is, of course, the customer satisfaction. Since the first principle of ISO 9001 is customer focus, the standard requires organization to monitor the customer satisfaction and the degree to which the customer needs and expectations have been fulfilled. In order to achieve this, the organization must establish the methods for obtaining, monitoring, and reviewing information about the customer satisfaction. And this can be done through customer satisfaction surveys, customer feedback on delivered products, meeting with customers, and etc. And information about customer satisfaction are one of the most valuable inputs in the management review, because they are saying whether the organization is on the right track, is the customer satisfaction increasing or decreasing, and what needs to be done in order to increase the customer satisfaction. The standard requires that the results from the monitoring and measurement are documented as evidence, of course, because this is how you will show the effectiveness of the QMS. On the other hand, the ISO 9001 standard doesn't define what needs to be monitored and measured in terms of the organization products, services, and processes. However, for the larger companies, it is a good practice to have this process documented as a procedure, for example, in order to have effective monitoring and measuring. And this procedure will define all the above mentioned elements. For example, in a small company, it is usual that the quality assurance manager is responsible for monitoring and measuring, while in larger companies, these responsibilities can be divided to different people, such as the production manager, who will monitor the production process, the HR manager who will control the HR controls, and etc. The time schedules, frequencies, methodologies, and tools should be also prescribed within this procedure. And this clause is important because the results from the monitoring and measuring are one of the main inputs for improvement of the QMS.